Right. Yeah. Okay. Can you just... Jon Jones, thank you for receiving us here in New York. MMA is quite a young sport in France, and some people may watch you for the first time against Cyril Gane. Can you introduce yourself for those fans?
Yes, my name is Jonathan Jones, known as Jon Bones Jones, and the new heavyweight champion of the world.
Actually, you've been talking about this moving up since a decade now. What it's mean, the heavyweight division for you?
Yeah, I've been in the UFC for a long time. I've had a lot of success at the light heavyweight division, and now I'm ready to compete at the heavyweight division and challenge myself against some of the biggest, toughest athletes that the sport's ever seen, and I'm excited for the opportunity. This move has been a long time coming. Maybe I wasn't ready before. I had more work to do at light heavyweight, but this time is it feels great. The time is now, and I'm glad that I finally made the move. And what does it mean to me? It just means everything. I believe that the heavyweight division is at an all-time high. We got athletes that the world's never seen, guys like Gane, and what better time to challenge yourself?
Actually, Cyril Gane thinks that he will stop you from being the next champion. What do you know about him?
What do I know about Cyril Gane? I don't know much about him. I believe he played soccer growing up. He had a really successful Muay Thai career. It was like 14-0 as a Muay Thai fighter. And he's done really well in the UFC. Outside of that, I really don't know much about him, his character or anything like that. He seems like a stand-up young man. I'm honored to fight him. You know, so thus far there's been no real beef. There's been no real, you know, arguing or anything outside of us both just being professionals. And it's refreshing. It's nice to fight a gentleman like Cyril.
So you respect him a lot?
I do respect him. Yeah. He's given me no reason not to respect him.
Your bonds with this sport are very different too. Actually, you are here to make history. You tell this a lot of time. While Cyril Gane take it just like a lucrative job. Actually, he doesn't even like MMA and do it for the money actually. So, do you respect a potential champion that doesn't like his own sport?
It's crazy that he says these things.
Yeah.
That he doesn't even like the sport. Yeah, I respect him because he's made it this far. But it also lets me know a lot about reasons why I should win the fight. I love mixed martial arts. I love the pain that comes with it. I love the ups and downs. It is who I am. It's a big part of my identity. Being an undefeated fighter it means the world to me. And it's a big reason why I believe that I walk out of the fight with my hand raised. It's my faith in the sport. It's my commitment to the sport. It's my whole world.
Your only loss was against Matt Hamill, and he was kind of weird. He was barely knocked out. You even look at the referee saying like, mate, you just have to stop the fight. And just after this, you were disqualified. So in your mind, are you still undefeated?
Yes, I do feel undefeated. I do, I very much so. It was a very crappy situation, but it was also an awesome learning experience. And yeah, I do feel undefeated. In the ring, absolutely. In life, I've had some ups and downs, you know, but in that octagon, yeah, that's the one thing I do very well.
So because of this impossibility, you have a strong mind that nobody can stop you.
Yeah, I have a very strong mind. You know, I believe that greatness is a habit, victory is a habit, and I have no reason to question myself when it comes to that.
Despite the fact that you are almost undefeated, you said that you always have to prove more than others. Why?
I feel like I got a lot to prove, for sure. I feel like the opportunity to be great, it doesn't come often. And if you're close to it, you owe it to the world to get after it and go after it.
Are you chasing something?
I'm chasing greatness. I'm chasing greatness, and I'll have the rest of my life to relax. But right now, while my body allows me, I have to give it everything I got. There's people out there who who just can't do it. And I had a coach that used to say, Jon, because you can. You got to do it because you can. And that's what I'm going to do. I owe it to the world.
So are you considering yourself as the greatest of all time now, or you have to prove something more?
I do feel like I've had an extraordinary career. I do feel like my resume speaks for itself, and it's pretty outstanding. I'm also aware that a heavyweight championship it really seals the deal, and so I'm excited to seal the deal.
We met Cyril Gane 1 week ago. Let's see how he knew when you were champion for the first time. I will check you a video and let's you answer what you think about it.
Je pense que j'avais dû apercevoir Jones quelque part, oui. Je pense que je devais le connaître. Je pense que j'avais dû l'apercevoir quelque part. J'en suis pas sûr. Je sais pas. La vérité, c'est que j'ai un détachement. C'est pour raconter des belles histoires, il n'y a pas de problème. S'il voudrait raconter des belles histoires, qu'il le fasse, tant mieux. Ça mettra un peu de piment au combat.
Anything to answer to this?
I respond to what I'm given. You know, it sounds like he's not interested in the trash talk. I'm really not either. I've fought many guys who are very, very respectful. You know, guys like Leo Machida, Vladimir Matyushenko, the list goes on. Alexander Gustafsson, you know, the list goes on. I've also fought guys who talked a lot of trash, like guys like Rashad Evans, Daniel Cormier, Dominic Reyes, Rampage Jackson. Either way, I tend to handle myself. If we can get through this fight without making it personal, even better.
We are no doubt how hard you are preparing these fights, but training can't replace competition, and you didn't fight for 3 years now. So do you understand the concern about your conditioning?
Yeah, people can only speculate, right? Our team's, we're a very smart team. Not only do we work hard, but we're thinkers in our team. And one of the ways we attack our fights is we figure out the ways we could lose a fight, and we attack those areas. That's why our defense is always very strong. Our cardio is always very strong. We're aware of ring rust, we're aware of endurance, and we train, we outwork those things.
So for these fights, how do you see it? Actually, you have a great fight IQ. So will it be a tactical fight more than a dog fight for you?
You know, it's hard to say how it's going to all play out, you know. Any way it plays out, I'll be ready. I'll be ready. You know, if we end up kickboxing the whole night, I do believe I'll win on the feet. If I end up wrestling them, I'll win on the ground. Any way the fight plays out, I'll be ready.
Actually, wrestling is not Cyril's strongest point, so you will take the fight in this area?
I do feel like I have a major grappling advantage in this fight for sure. I watched Cyril lose to Francis Ngannou. Francis was able to take him down, hold him down, control him. I do believe that if I get Cyril, when I get Cyril to the ground, he won't get back up.
And some pundits said that you were less explosive in your last 3 fights, while Cyril Gane is known for his quickness. So how do you handle it, especially moving up to the heavyweight division, where gain of weights much more match not with the quickness?
Yeah, I feel like I'm used to a fast pace of fighting. I'm used to guys that are really fast. Neurologically, you know, speed is speed. And no matter how much I weigh or how much Cyril weighs, I'm used to really fast athletes. My defense is used to really fast athletes. And I don't believe that Gane is faster than anything I've ever seen.
There's still Jon Bones Jones. You're the same fighter even at 250.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I'm not the same fighter anymore. My ability to lay hands on people, my confidence is through the roof right now. My takedowns are more explosive than they've ever been. My ground and pound hits a little bit harder.
Will you finish Cyril Gane?
I do believe that I'll finish the fight, yes. Gane's best way of lasting 5 rounds with me is to try to keep the fight on the feet. I don't believe he'll be able to do that. Outside of that, I don't think he's better than me at anything. I feel like I have great boxing right now. better than it used to be. I have great kickboxing, great defense, great wrestling, and jiu-jitsu. I feel like I'm just a better martial artist than him. I take the sport very serious, and I think that will show when we're in front of each other.
Is this fight your first real challenge since your rematch against Daniel Cormier?
I can't say this is my first real challenge. No, I've fought many very athletic people, guys who are undefeated before facing me, guys who are on these very long win streaks. Yeah, I fought a lot of killers, and I wouldn't call him my first real challenge. It's just another challenge.
Daniel Cormier said that if you win these belts, you could become a contested champion because you didn't have to face Francis Ngannou, which was the reigning champion. Do you understand this?
I don't think I deserve any criticism. I'm here. I'm here. Francis had the opportunity to face me, and he opted out of the opportunity. If anyone should be criticized, it's Francis Ngannou. If I'm correct, he was offered the biggest contract in heavyweight history. He had the opportunity to be a guy to dethrone me, and he didn't believe in himself. Francis didn't believe in himself. He wasn't willing to gamble on himself. I felt bad for the fans. I know that would have been a massive fight for the fans. People from all around the world would have loved to see that event, and I'm not counting it out. I could see Francis going and fighting and boxing and doing whatever he's going to do. I think he's always going to be welcome back to the UFC. That's always going to be a big, big fight, and I'll be ready for him.
So this fight is not the fight that you wanted against Cyril Gane?
I really didn't have any intentions. You know, it could have been anyone. It could have been Stipe Miocic, it could Taito Tuivasa, Cyril Gane, Francis Ngannou. My job is to fight the best fighters on the planet, and that's why I'm here.
In your career, there were a double champ, which was Daniel Cormier. Your rivalry was one of the greatest of all time. You had some kind words toward him after the rematch. How would you squeeze that fast the hate?
I can never say that I actually really hated DC. I just really, really wanted to beat him. And after beating him, there's a respect. There's a respect that you just naturally have for a guy, for being out there in front of the world with his shirt off, being vulnerable in front of the whole world. You can't help not to respect all these guys eventually. When the fight's over, the beef is over.
You have forgiveness?
Yeah, I do forgive Daniel Cormier for any negative that he's ever said about me, and I hope he forgives me as well. I'd be more than willing to sit down with Daniel Cormier and talk about our differences, talk about the sport, you know. Yeah, absolutely.
Mercy is one of the greatest precepts in religion, and your father expected you to become a priest, and God made you as a fighter. Which one God wanted to test in his past, you or your father, you think?
I don't feel either one of us have been tested by my career path. I feel like it's destined. It's just who I was meant to be. I feel like throughout history, God has anointed many, many men to have a warrior's heart. Yeah. And I'm grateful to be one of them. Ordeals
are tests from God. Which one in your life was the hardest to overcome?
Hardest test to overcome. That's really hard to say. You know, I've been through lots of different things throughout my life. A lot of it self-inflicted. It's really hard to say. It's really hard to say, but I'm still here.
What's your top 5 of all time in UFC?
My top 5, let's see here. I would say, if I'm allowed, I would say myself, Anderson Silva, George St. Pierre, Khabib Nurmagomedov, and Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo, those are my favorites at least.
That's a great top 5. You told about Khabib in the 4th position. What do you think about his invincibility?
I love what Khabib represents. You know, we've had our differences in the past. I've made some quotes about him, but there's never really been a real beef. You know, I love the way he carries himself as a Muslim. I love the way he represents his country. I love the businessman that he is. He just seems like a stand-up guy. He gives back to others. He's a stand-up guy. He's an admirable man, and I appreciate his existence.
You have a long UFC career with a lot of records, but which one of these records are you the proudest of?
I believe I have 15 title defenses right now. That's what I'm most proud of. No one's ever been able to do that, and it feels good. I'm only 35 years old, and we're still counting them.
You talk about your age. Do you feel old?
No, I feel great. I feel great at my age. You know, I'm aware of great fighters doing really awesome things at older ages. And I believe that if I continue to treat my body right, my mind, spirit, I got a lot more years in me. And so, yeah, I feel like I can't say just getting started, but I do have a lot more to go.
Do you think that this heavyweight belt will crown you as the greatest of all time once and for all?
Yeah. Yeah, I do believe that this next victory is going to solidify that GOAT status for sure, and I'm proud of it.
Why making history obsess you so much? Like, I almost feel like you need it.
Yeah, I do. I do need it. I just want to be remembered. It means a lot to me. It's our way of living forever. Thank you. Merci. All right?
Merci.